I've accepted that I am gonna live a probably really normal life, and the dreams and the idea of me becoming a big content creator, a big streamer, or a big anything is out the window. I'm pretty sure all of us, one point in time, have thought about, let me give this social media thing a try. Let me try and make a video. It'll be fun. I didn't really care about the views until you kind of did. That's what kind of happened with me. I started my social media journey with just a podcast because I didn't really care about my face being like the face of people seeing me. I just wanted to put stuff out there. And if I'm quiet in the middle of this, it's because I'm really trying to concentrate. So give me 1 second while I'm back. Okay, I died. It's okay. I got like most of them. I think it's 2 different teams. But anyways, I started out with a podcast, just making whatever ideas came to my head. And I never really, in the back of my mind, I was like, I want this to work, but it wasn't really my aspiration to be the biggest creator out there. I just wanted to put stuff out there because that's what I wanted to do. And then slowly in my own mind, I started what's the word, like hallucinating, thinking that maybe I really am a good creator. Maybe I could get people to actually watch my content. And 7 years later, nothing happened. I wouldn't say I wasted my time, but I could definitely say that I did not get anywhere at all. My last ditch effort on my other channel, this is just like a burner account that I'm talking on right now because I don't plan to really go hard on making content anymore as I used to. I think what I'm gonna do is just a rant about stuff that I just want to talk about because I can never really talk to anybody about this. You know, I feel like the space of like you trying to be a content creator is really, I think it's still kind of frowned upon, and they'll make fun of you, be like, it was, I mean, what did you expect? Nothing was gonna happen either way. But the thought or the delusion, let me say, of you becoming a great successful creator, it was still there. It was there the whole time, but as years went by, as it took a toll on your personal life and everything, just for nothing to go off, it's really unmotivating to see when you work for something so hard, nothing pops off. I've never had any of my videos pop off, no real recognition, and I couldn't understand why. Well, the main thing is because nobody cares about you. I always say I knew what to do, but I just never did it because what I needed to do was gonna be do something that's not me. And what I mean by that is, I think the key to making it in today's social media and to be a content creator nowadays, nobody cares about the content you put. It could be really edited really good, but if nobody knows you, they're just not gonna care. So how do you make people care about something, about your content, when you're nobody? I think the idea is to do content that's not your content. And what I mean by that is, you see everywhere on TikTok, people make cringe content, stupid content, brain rot content, and for whatever reason, just people just dig that. You know, that's what gets the views, that's what gets the likes. People give their opinions on stuff, but in a really exaggerated way. I find that to be cringe, but that's what the internet loves, and I just can't do that. People start dancing these weird dances and it gets them views, and that's what gets them. But I could never get myself to do that because I feel like I was stuck in the old ways of YouTube in the terms of, I just wanted to play video games and have a fan base and just watch me play video games and just comment on my videos about the game. I'm gonna get mad. I cannot find this chest for the love of freaking Lazarus. Okay, here we go. And I think my that's what my plan was, to just make videos about gaming, and then somewhere down the line I'll just make a fan base, but that never came. And I think that's where I went wrong. For years I was just stuck on, if I just play games, who doesn't like watching video games? And there's a lot of YouTubers who just play video games, but some people get into algorithms, some people don't. And the best way to get yourself out there is, you know, be on TikTok, make those cringy videos, have them pop off. Out of 100,000 views, maybe 5 will like really want to look at after you. You know what I'm saying? And I could just never get myself to do that, because a thing that I noticed was everybody that said after they got all, see, this is the funny part, this is after they got their money and they have a steady fan base and a steady income, is they all say they hate how they used to be. They didn't like the way they were to get the views that they have now. But I think that's a hypocrite and counterintuitive to someone who wants to be a creator. You can't say be yourself, because nobody cares about you. You have to make people want to know who you are, and the only way to get views is to do stuff that you don't, that's not really you. You know what I mean? And I could just never get myself to do that, and I think that's where I went wrong. Not to say I care what other people say about me, because I would stream. I streamed for, you know, a couple years, and every single one of those people that saw me made fun of me, talk shit about me. They'll come back to just talk shit. It never got under my skin, but I could never get that following of a bigger count. And most of the time they were trolling, which is cool. Like, I like that. I got clips out of that. And they all said that you deserve to have a lot more viewers in this. I can't wait till you blow up. But that day never came. The viewers never came. The clips that I thought were really good never got any views. And the thing about me, which I found very confusing about myself as a creator, is that I would watch my own clips and I would laugh at my own stuff, because that's what it's the jokes that I like. It's the clip that I enjoyed, and I actually do find it funny, but no one in the world does. And I just can't wrap my head around that. And slowly I just started, you know, coming to the realization, the cars, the big fancy house. I never really cared about the fame on me as a person. I've always cared about like the money aspect of a content creator. That's what I really cared about. But I always thought you need a face with your content, because then nobody's gonna watch you. Nobody just likes watching this content where it's just faceless. And that's kind of the reason why I'm doing this. I'm not expecting this to get any views. This is really just my personal diary of just for me, and I'll just come back later to watch it. I really don't expect this channel to pop off at all. I don't see why it would. None of my other videos have, so I doubt this would. So I could really say whatever I want. I could technically say every racial slur in the history book, and I would not get in trouble, because no one's gonna be here to see it or to listen to it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just giving an example. So there is that. I've accepted that I'm not gonna be the content creator that I will always wish to be. And it sucks. You know, I remember when I was 11 years old, I had the idea of becoming a YouTuber. I set up my iPod. I was playing Black Ops 1, and I just recorded myself playing the game, and I didn't even have internet. I was just doing like those custom lobbies when you don't have internet, and I was just talking over. My cousin had called me and said, "What do you do?" And I said nothing. I deleted the video. But I knew in that point in time, I knew this was kind of something I wanted to do. And, you know, a couple years later, I took that, you know, that jump. It was scary, because I am a really shy person and a quiet person. Back then I really was, and I really had insecurity issues. But now I don't mind being on camera. All that has gone out the window because of all the years of being on camera and saying hello to whoever could possibly be watching. And I know I came a long way personally, but just on the social media space, I never got anywhere. If I were to link you my channel that I've worked on for about 6 years, you would see I have 3,000 subs. But that was just because literally of last month, I started doing Roblox audio overlays, saying like my video, help a small creator out. It was never over because of me. And yeah, you know, I rode that wave for me for about no did he about did people even say no did he? I don't know. For about a month, I went from 331 subs, that's what I accumulated in about 6 years, to 3,000 in like 2.5 weeks using this method. And it doesn't really do nothing for me because nobody's there to watch me. Nobody really cares. I upload clips of my own stream on my YouTube, and it gets nowhere near the views that I would get if I were to do a Roblox skit. And yeah, it's hard for me to say, but I really have accepted that the life I wanted is no more. I even held off having kids for the longest time because I didn't like the way how I grew up, and the idea of it was, let me pop off on social media and I could provide a better life. Let me not take serious in the first 20 to 25 years. From 20 to 25, let me not take it serious about my jobs because I know this YouTube stuff is gonna pop off. I really lived that life thinking that this would happen for me, and it just brought me a lot of pain and a lot of trouble. I didn't get nowhere. I absolutely got nowhere. All I got was arguments with the girl I've been with since high school. She's been with me the whole time. She's seen this wave of me having this dream, and you know, after, you know, she did support me, but at the same time it's like, when is stuff gonna pop off? And I couldn't really tell her when, because it's just a matter of time, right? You know, if you do the work, it should work, right? But it just never did. And then the main point I'm trying to say is I really took this so serious, thinking it'll have to work because I'm doing so much for it to work. I really want this to work, just for absolutely nothing. I took advantage of my youth, thinking I could do this content creation. Every time I went out, I could never enjoy myself being out because I would always just think about content creation. What could be the next thing to have my viral clip? What's the next thing that I could do to pop off? It didn't even become enjoyable at that point. It became just a game for me. Maybe this one will hit, maybe that one will hit, and it just never did, and I'm dead. Oh, I almost got out of it. So what's the whole point of me making this video? It's really me just accepting the fact that all the dreams that I had of wanting to have money, help my loved ones in a very big, substantial way, wanting to retire my parents in a way that everybody would want to retire their parents with just a buttload of money. It's not gonna happen. They dream of me having a big house, a pool in the backyard, something that's always wanted as a kid. It's not gonna happen. Me having a Rolls Royce, you know, they said to dream big, and a Rolls Royce is a car that I've always wanted, and that's not gonna happen. A lot of stuff that I really wanted to happen, it's not gonna happen. And I'm accepting that it will never happen. My whole point with this is, I don't know what the whole point it was. I've had moments, sure, where I like left, but I always came back. I never wanted to truly leave. It was out because of outside circumstances where I always felt like I had to leave. But it sucks for me to admit this, but it's not like there's nothing good happening. I got a really good job at a hospital, one of the biggest hospitals in the state that I am. I went back to university. I finished the trade of my university, and through that, I got a really good job. And this is a job that I actually, I think I'd like to do for a really long time. I don't really want to say because I really want to stay anonymous, but I, I put my what you call bootstraps up or whatever, however the saying is, and I went and got a really good job, and I start really soon, and this whole social media thing will kind of be behind me now, and I guess I have another chapter in my life to have to look forward to. I just took that whole team. They should just fall off the face of the earth. Because there's no way I just did that. So it's not like everything's bad right now. I could be dead. A lot of people are not even alive. And am I gonna link my other channel? No, probably not. There's no point. There's absolutely no point for me to to just post my other channel. This is gonna pretty much be a personal diary of mine, and practically only I will ever see this of what I said. And maybe in a couple years I'll come back and maybe I've improved. Who knows? Maybe I've kind of blown up by now. But if not, it's all good. And that'll be it. If you enjoyed, like. If not, don't care. Don't care no more. So, see ya.